Okay, so now that the recording's on, just recapping, we're talking about just having a kind of a discussion about all three of the book chapters and lecture slides that we've gone through so far, and we just got done talking a little bit about handbrake arenas for Macy's. So getting back to what I was answering before, Jose, I was not answering so much as giving a suggestion. Sometimes you're not really, you never know what's going to come up on a search. So I was actually curious to see what would happen when you type in handbrake model and Macy's. Sometimes somebody out there from some class at Kansas State 5 years ago might have done a study. But if you can't find that, I browse the Macy's website. I'd read any kind of like big picture news article about them, and then just think about, is there anything that wasn't obvious that I've noticed by reading these things about what arenas are they active in? And then go ahead and answer the question. And if it's in your own words, put a footnote that's in your own words. If you talk to somebody at Macy's, put a footnote, based on conversation with, Cheryl P., if you don't want to put their full name or whatever, Macy's date. Make sense? Yeah. And I would fill it out like that. And this is about as much space as you're going to have. So maybe 3 things there out of the arenas area.
For each one. Yeah.
And give a footnote at the bottom as to whether it's in your own words, or this is based on reading an article X, or this is based on reading the Macy's website, or whatever.
Right. I just really wasn't sure as to whether you wanted like something from an actual search engine or from, you know what I mean?
No, I want you guys to get accustomed to using these search tools.
Okay.
And there's a lot of hidden gems that you can find just by using ProQuest and by using Google. But we don't need to like cram a square peg into a round hole. If you can't find something interesting within 5 or 10 minutes of searching, put it in your own words and move on.
Okay.
Sound okay? So I don't think we'll have time to talk about every one of the handbrake.
That's fine.
No, I know, but I'm saying for myself, like, I have a habit of, like, I'm comfortable talking. I like to hear the sound of my own voice. I do a lot of lecturing and sort of cheerleading, and I'm really trying to push myself to have more of a discussion and less lecture. So I'm kind of thinking out loud as to where do we go next in the conversation. What about one more handbrake area? Maybe vehicles, and let's choose another company. You guys are doing wonderful, right? What do you think? How would you answer these questions about wonderful? How would you search, maybe? And then if you couldn't find anything searching, how would you answer the questions? So, first of all, where do you think Wonderful wants to get to?
Like grocery stores.
Yep.
I guess people who make food with their products.
Yep.
From the farm to the production.
Yep. And if we step back, here, let me break those things down. Wonderful vehicles. And say again?
Which part?
I think
So, like,
get to the
trucking
grocery
from-
store.
Oh, okay, yeah, to the grocery store, and then like maybe other food. I don't know, processors. Yeah. So they could just package directly or put it in other food.
So packaging and processing vendors, maybe? Okay. Everybody, not just wonderful. If we're thinking about the handbrake model in context, if you remember, I keep wanting to go to my laptop instead of here. If you remember, in the broader context, we got mission, vision, objectives, and then strategy. So what I would encourage all of you to do, almost all of you have public companies. If you don't, you certainly have ones that are big enough. Like, you guys are doing Brown Armstrong?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Brown, okay, yeah, Brown Armstrong. So Brown Armstrong's not public, but they're a big firm here in town. They've got a very well-developed website. You can either go to the company's website or go to Edgar and look up their annual report. And in there, it talks about their mission, vision, and goals. So that's another thing that I want you to fill out is mission, vision, and goals. So before you get to the handbrake model, I would suggest that you go find the company's annual report or go to the company's website and look up their mission, vision, goals. Because everything else about the arenas they're going towards, staging, differentiators, vehicles, it's all going to be based on what it should be if they're sort of managing the company the right way, should be based on their mission, vision, and goals, or mission, vision, and objectives. Make sense? So, I want you to do this partially off the top of your head, but I want you to base it on some stuff in reality. So, I would suggest for this part that you first go and either look up the annual report on Edgar or go to the company's website, kind of get an idea of their mission, vision, goals. And not just that, but if you can't find the mission, vision, goals, if you just go to a company's website, there's usually an About Us page or there's an Investors page, and you can just see by the way that the pages in the website are organized what some of the departments of the company are, what the different product lines are that they focus on. Just by looking at the company's website, you can tell some things about where they're active and what their strategy is. Even if it doesn't say, our strategy is X, our arenas are X. The arenas are, if you, I don't know, let's go to the wonderful website and check it out. Or let's do another one. So who's doing Sephora?
We changed it.
What did you change it to?
Ulta.
Ulta? Do you know what their website is?
I think it's just ulta.com.
Let's find out. Cosmetics, fragrances, and this is it?
Yep.
Okay, so, right here, just looking at the top, find store, email sign up, gift cards. So, right at the top, that tells me that they've got a nationwide store network. So one of the vehicles that they use is, a nationwide network of brick and mortar stores. Email sign up, gift cards, sign in, etc. That also tells me that they're marketing to customers through email messaging, and it tells me that they're trying to sell online, since you can sign in and buy right here too. If you go back to the arenas area again and think about products, so you've got shop by brand, or you've got types of products. So any of those you could base what you put in the arenas on. And if we look here, we scroll down. Usually at the very bottom, especially for consumer-oriented companies like Ulta, 95% of the people that go to the website are not looking for the corporate information. They're looking to buy something. So usually you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can see here our company, investor relations. That'll give you a lot of information about their mission, vision, and goals and stuff like that. Largest viewed utility in the United States. Company offers more than, so this is telling you stuff about how they see their own arenas.
If you hit more, I think it takes you to a separate website. There we go.
Yep. So this is actually the investor relations page and company information. We haven't gotten to this part yet, but later on I'm going to want you guys to find out who's on the boards of directors of these companies. So you can find some of that information here. So this gives you a lot to work with on the strategy side. Make sense? And also you can actually, if you can't find it on Edgar, you can also just go to Google and type in Ulta annual report.
Like their 10K?
Yeah. But the 10K that they file with Edgar, or with the SEC, it's sort of in technical format. It's the same information, but usually an annual report has lots of slick pictures and it has like high sounding words about what the vision of the company is and stuff. Sometimes you're better off typing in annual report on Google, because the Edgar report will give you details about all the finances and stuff, but sometimes it's easier to read the annual report. So that's another thing you can do here. 2015 annual report. Open. Take a while to open up, but this will probably be 30, 40, even 100 pages long and give you more information than you ever wanted to know about how Ulta sees their own strategic direction. We won't wait for it to open here, but everybody get the picture? And not just for Ulta, this is advice for everybody in here. Ah, there we go. Okay, so going back to I'm curious to go over business model quick. Do you guys remember what I talked about on business model? Yes, there we go. So value proposition, profit model, and resources needed. And this is something that I think you should sort of have. You should have it memorized. You should have it as a gut feeling on how your company works. So, Emmanuel, you guys are doing Remax, right?
Correct.
So, what's the value proposition for Remax? From the customer's point of view, what would you say?
Well, since Remax specializes in consumer real estate, I would say the value creation would simply be a home, so like a place to stay.
Yeah. Honestly, that's pretty much how I would put it. Place to live called home. That's more or less, write it in the complete sentence, but more or less that's what I'd say the value proposition is. What's the profit model? So what are the main ways that revenue streams come in, and what are the major variable and fixed costs?
I would say, the property itself, like buying land, and then
The revenue generated.
Okay, so in those three categories, revenues coming in, fixed costs and variable costs, what is the purchase of the land?
Well, actually,
it would be a variable cost because all land's different
Yep.
prices.
So this is going to be value proposition here, and then here we've got the profit model and variable costs, land, probably the actual building materials as well,
Well, it depends if you're building the same buildings.
and
would you
labor.
say that the commission of the real estate agent, would that be a fixed cost or variable cost?
I call it variable.
Okay.
So, so this is actually, since Remax sells houses rather than building them,
Yeah.
I would actually say, usually they sell houses for other people too, so I don't think they even own the land.
No, they don't.
So yeah, let's take that off of there and let's put down Agent commission.
Yeah.
Yep. Tell me, how do you, Emmanuel, you were starting to say where the revenues come from or how they come in. What's the revenue model look like?
I was gonna say revenue is generated directly from selling the homes. So the commissions that the agents take, let's say probably about 5% on homes.
Okay.
And probably the paperwork fees as well to process the purchase of the home. And if they do escrow in-house, maybe those fees as well, but I doubt they do escrow.
Probably not. I think the bank probably handles that. So tell me this, after somebody buys a home, like, is it usually homes cost, let's just talk about Bakersfield here. You know, let's call it 200,000. I mean, some of them are cheaper, some of them are more expensive. Let's just choose a kind of median price of 200 grand, maybe a little below median. Is somebody coming up with $200,000 in cash and forking it over to RE/MAX?
No.
What's happening?
They're going to the bank for a loan
Yep. And then how does RE/MAX get paid?
through the bank.
So, do they get paid all of it at once?
No.
I'd say yeah, wouldn't they?
I'm
And
thinking
then
yeah
the,
as well.
The bank is the one who gets they get their money reimbursed as the person pays their monthly mortgage.
Yeah, I'm thinking RE/MAX gets well, actually, RE/MAX just gets a commission. The money actually goes to the seller of the house.
That's true.
So, we're gonna say, let's say lump sum commission paid at sale
Of home.
of home from bank. Okay. How about a fixed cost?
Let's see. I was thinking maybe. Let's see. Fixed.
Utilities to keep for the RE/MAX buildings.
Yep, that's a good one.
Oh, okay. You're talking about for the offices, like the brokerages. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's fixed.
So, utilities, rent.
Salaries.
What's that?
Salaries for individuals that aren't paid on a
Yep.
commission basis.
Admin, salaries, utilities, rent, for office space.
Maybe like
So,
like
okay.
variable cost could be like when they expense cars. A lot of realtors have nice cars,
Yep.
take their clients.
So, call it sales expenses. Or sales expense accounts. So, without any more answers here, giving you guys an idea of what I want for business model, I want a complete sentence up here in profit model. I want a complete sentence for revenues, and I actually want you to put it like this. I want you to have a little title that says revenues, and then bullet point underneath it. Revenues come in as lump sum commission paid at the sale of home from bank, period. And then I want you to put below that a little title for variable costs and bullet point. Main variable costs include agent commissions, sales expense accounts, da-da-da. And then I want you to put another subheading, fixed costs.
And then bullet points for each.
Yep. You're going to run out of space with bullet points for each, so I want you to put one bullet point and say major fixed costs include X, comma, Y, comma, Z. Okay? That's for everybody in here. And then for the resources needed section, that's the third. So I ran out of space here. This is actually the chart that you're going to be filling out has 3 boxes. There's a third box down here.
Resources needed, I would say motivated sales reps.
Yep. But in general, for everybody in here, after you filled out, I want you to fill it out in this order. And once you've filled out the profit model, just go up here and look. What are my major variable costs and what are my major fixed costs and what do I need to be successful at having that? So agent commissions naturally implies that you have motivated and talented sales agents. Sales expense accounts perhaps means that you have
an incentive to sell?
budgets and materials available to support sales effort.
Okay.
You know, that's broadly stated what's behind that. And just list the resources phrased as what do you need to have to be a successful company when these are your major costs. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Okay. So let's move on to external just a little bit, and then we'll go to the internal, and then we'll talk about Globus. So, company G, or group G. What company are you going to focus on? Have you decided yet? Huh? Chase Bank? Okay. So, for Chase Bank, if we go through the main topics in this lecture, driving forces, Porter's 5 forces, key success factors. So do you remember what did I want you to do for driving forces? So for driving forces, if you remember, I wanted you to go to a certain database and look up a report. So in your case, you're going to go to the CSUB library website. So CSUB, and then down here at the bottom, you click on library, articles and databases, and I'd sort it by alphabetical order, research databases by title, and then you can just go down to the letter F for first research, and you're going to open this up, and you're going to type in the name of the industry, not the name of the company. So what is the industry for Chase? Banking. So type in banking and see what comes up. Investment banking, banks and credit unions. So I would go with this one. If you click there, actually just click right on the full text PDF already. This gives you the report on banks and credit unions. You remember what I want you to do now? Say again. Yes, Hisham, do you remember what section that I wanted you to go to? What section of the report? Do you remember? Okay. I want you, anybody else remember?
Industry drivers?
Yep. So, can you say that again for Hisham's benefit?
Industry drivers.
Okay, so there's these little blue areas here, and if you scroll down, industry drivers. And do you remember, did I say anything else after that?
Whatever follows, the critical issues.
Yep.
Industry opportunities.
Yep, business trends is in there too. Industry opportunities. And then you can stop when you get to executive insight. This is interesting stuff here, but this is basically talking about the problems that normal executives in the banking industry face. So these 4 areas or so here, I want you to read through those, pick the 3 or 4 that you think are the most important issues facing the industry, copy and paste and footnote. Got it? And footnote. Okay, so the same basic exercise is what you're going to do for driving forces as well. And who remembers what I wanted you to do for key success factors? hint, it has to do with what's written on the board right here.
You pick a couple, right? You pick a couple of the ones that you want.
Yeah, Jose, say that again.
You pick a couple of the things that you feel the company does really well and right, and then you just elaborate on those things.
Yep, so your key success factors are going to be the most important of the resources needed from the business plan section. Hisham, you were raising your hand. Is that what you were going to say too? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for external stuff. Now going back to internal, our lecture from Tuesday, quickly. So we've got resource-based strategies. You remember this is all about having things that are valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and being well organized to take advantage of them. And then we've got value chain benchmarking or competitive strength assessments, where you compare you compare your focus company with another of their main competitors. And then finally, the SWOT or TOES analysis, where I want you to talk about the strategies that the company's going to follow, rather than just listing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So, Brent,
Yeah.
as the lone representative of your group, have you guys picked a company to focus on?
Not even yet.
So let's just for argument's sake, let's say CAA right now, Creative Artists Agency. Even though it says creative artists, they actually manage a lot of athletes' contracts as well. So if you were looking at them, what do you think is a valuable, VRIO resource that CAA has?
I'm not really sure.
Well, if you, what does CAA do?
Like they represent different athletes in all different sports.
Yep. So how do they do the representing? Is the computer doing it? Are there people? Are there agents?
People.
Yeah. So I would say one thing that's really important for CAA is they got to have really good agents.
Yeah.
If you don't have Jerry Maguire, then somebody else has Jerry Maguire. So maybe the resource for VRIO is top agent talent. And then we've got a chart here, VRIO. So is that talent valuable? Yeah, I'd say so. Is it rare? It's relatively rare because, if you look at the whole population, not very many people are good agents. Is it hard to imitate? I would say a little bit not, because William Morris, there's other top agencies that also have good agents. And then, is CAA well organized to take advantage of their talent? I'd say yes, although I would want you to go out and read a little bit, just kind of read an overview or read a report about CAA before making that assessment. And then yes, I would agree that they are pretty well organized to take advantage of it. So that's what you're doing basically to fill out, and you're going to have maybe 4 or 5 resources, not just the agents. Okay? Any questions on that from everybody else? No? Okay, want to talk about Globus?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So Group B, is that you guys?
Yeah.
You're bringing up the rear right now. Would you like me to go through and give some pointers, or do you want me to pick on another group?
Are you gonna open up, like what we see?
What's that?
Are you gonna open up what we see when we go there? Cause I made changes this morning,
That's fine.
but I don't want them.
Okay.
You can go with us.
You pick on us.
Okay. Have you guys not gone yet? You haven't made changes yet?
No.
Okay. So,
Can I still get advice from you?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's incumbent upon you. You need
Right.
to email me with questions, or call or text, or come by the office hours. But yeah, I'm happy to give you guys advice.
Okay.
But you have to reach out to me. Okay. Okay. So Emmanuel, which you guys are C, right?
Yeah, key cameras.
Okay. So, actually, hang on. Group I. Armando, you guys are Group I, right?
Yeah, we made changes though, sorry.
No, that's okay. Are you okay? You okay since you're like second to last if I go with Group C? Okay, cool. So, if I launch the decision reports program here. Okay, so the first thing I always do, well, you guys tell me, what's the first thing that I always do based on the when we went through the practice round? Yep, start from the top, but even before that.
Have your product.
Say again?
Check your product.
Check, what do you mean check your product?
Like, what kind of product you actually want to sell.
But what about that? Candace, hang on. People who are not Candace, please be quiet for now.
Look at the report.
Yes. What about, where are you looking in the report? What information?
I'm not sure.
The average, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but which average are you comparing yourself to?
Industry.
No, not everybody else.
Just
The ones in your star.
Yep. Say that again?
The ones in your star rating.
Yes. So if we go to the report here, competitive intelligence reports, quarterly snapshot, Group C, you have a 2-star quality camera in entry level.
And then 4-star for multi-featured.
Yep. So you're really high in multi-featured, and you're almost the lowest. I mean, there's 3 other groups that are at 2, and then one group is at 1.5. So first of all, let's take a look at where your price is compared to the 2s and the 1.5. So 150, 159, 149, 155. So you're pretty much in the ballpark on price. You might be able to raise it a couple dollars. How's 2.5? How does 3 look? So that's 180 or 2.5. Sorry, 150, 160, 160, 160. So Group I, I'm not surprised. They're selling at too low of a price. I think you're in the ballpark with 150. That's not your problem. So you can stay with that price. Now let's take a look at how are you doing on advertising compared to the other 2s. So you're at 550. E is at 250. G 600, 650. So you're in the ballpark there too. Those both look good. How are you on tech support now? That's the next question. 160. E is at 200. G is at 400. H is at 190. So you're a little low on technical support, especially because you got a lower end camera. So I would suggest moving that up to more like 250 or 300. Get yourself into the middle or the higher end of the pack of 2-star companies.
Isn't that what you said? If our camera is lower quality, we have to compensate for that by offering more tech support.
Yep.
Just to offset it. Yeah.
Yep. But you want to counterbalance that with the fact that you're offering the highest quality multi-featured, because your tech support investment is for both It's for both areas.
Oh.
So you want to make your tech support higher because you've got a low camera quality camera here, but you don't really want to blow it out of the park because that's going to be wasting money down here.
Okay, I see.
So, you know, if the highest of your competitors is at 400 for tech support, maybe get yourself up to 250, 300, 350. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, next thing to look at is promotions. So the other 2-star quality cameras. So you're at 1 for 2 weeks at 15%. 1 for 1 week at 8%. Yes.
Is it bad to have the highlights?
Just sold out. I mean, you sold out.
Yes and no. It means that you ran out of cameras. Basically, what that probably means, if you're a 2-star quality camera at 159, I'm not sure off the top of my head why you sold out. It could be that you didn't max out your production, but I have to go in and open the things up to look. Sometimes if you get the price, if you make your price really low, or you put your advertising really high, you're going to sell a lot more cameras, and you're going to sell more than predicted, and you ran out of cameras. But also, if you didn't click the right button and max out your production, that's also a reason why you would have sold out. Make sense? Okay, so 1 week 8%, 3 promotions, 2 weeks 18%, and 1 10. Looks like if you know which team is leading the game. Yes, Group G is leading the game. Do you notice something different about their promotions compared to yours?
No, you don't share information.
Well, this is he's shot. This is publicly available anyway. This is an insider.
Even if you don't want to share, I'm still going to be able to see it.
So, what's different compared to yours?
Is it the warranty? Is it?
Huh?
Is it the warranty?
No. The promotions. So number, length, and discount.
We're at 15%. They're at 18%. But we both have the same length, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, look at the number.
Who's that?
3.
Oh, 3.
Sorry, this is a 3, and you guys have 1.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot more promotions at a heavier discount. And they've got a slightly lower price too. So
And their warranty period.
there's $1 less, but yeah, their warranty period is a lot higher. So
We have the same quality camera. And
Yep.
ours is only at 90 days.
yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes
So
a lot of sense.
what you guys want to do, is, you don't necessarily want to go up to the top on everything, but if you look at the rest of the 2-star cameras, 90 days, 2 years, 1 year, and then you're at 90 days as well. So maybe go up to a year instead of 90 days, and then maybe you keep your discount where it is, but you move up to 3 promotions. Like, you don't want to be exactly the same as Group G, but you want to be in the ballpark of what they're doing for promotions. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
And then take a look at the same thing for multi-featured. And then you can start going in and inputting various decisions.
So
Okay.
basically just kind of play around with it.
Uh-huh.
But not playing around with it, but just kind of tweak the numbers and see where we get the best outcome.
Yep. So if we now go into your decisions, for now we'll leave the product quality the same, because it seems like you're okay on product quality right now. So let's just leave that for the time being. If the changes we make do not help you, if the changes we make don't help you, you may want to go in and either lower until you get to the lowest possible level for 2 stars and still have, you can have lower cost but still be a 2-star camera, or bring it up and get to the highest level get to the lowest level possible of 2.5 stars.
Okay.
If you went down to the lowest level of 2 and you couldn't do anything better. But right now, there's a lot of other things we can fix, so I would just leave that for the time being and see what happens when we fix the other things.
I think there might be too much fluff on our multi-featured camera.
Yeah, there might be.
It's got 22 times zoom.
So what happens if we move it down to 18? You're still a 4-star camera,
And it has 10 features.
and you just saved, hang on, take a look at this, $460 right now for the, down here at the bottom. That's what each camera costs you to produce. If you move this down to 18 instead of 22,
Wow.
it's only 436 to produce, and you're still a 4-star quality camera.
Yeah, we just saved like
What if we save,
$12.
bring it down to 15? Well, there you go. You just saved another 15.
Oh, sweet.
12, you saved another 15.
And it's still a 4-star camera.
Yep. Now, yeah, you can't go down to 10 because that makes it a 3.5, but you could go down a little bit there. Make sense? So, but I wouldn't play with this too much. I would go in and start with the changes to your marketing numbers and see if everything works out. If it does, then leave your product features largely the way they are. If it doesn't, then go in and start trying to shave off cost, and then go and do all the rest of the screens. So if we go into marketing, you'll notice here your cameras are in demand. So last year there were only 18 stores, 18 multi-store chains that won your cameras. Now there's 22. So the first thing you want to do is max out all of these numbers for the new demand in the industry.
Oh, that doubled.
Yep. Looks a lot better now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Our EPS went up a lot.
Uh-huh. And we're not done yet either.
Ooh. Okay, I see it. It looks like the features on our cameras were great, but maybe we just made a few missteps in the marketing.
Yeah, your features are nice, you know. You can save some costs, but I would start by, like, and this goes for everybody in here, I would start by making the marketing changes that you need to, that you need to make, and then make the production changes, the employee changes, the finance changes, and if that still doesn't get you to where you wanted to go, then go back to the drawing board and start lowering your costs, or go up to the next level and be the lowest you can at the next level up, or go down to the next level down and be the lowest you can. But I would leave the product features to start with, and then only change them if the rest of it didn't work as well as you wanted it to. Make sense?
Got it.
So now I actually wanted to let you guys out a couple minutes early. Let me just say one more thing, and then we'll call it a day. So now that you've done that, remember when we went through and looked at everything about where you're not competitive. Remember we wanted to move up tech support. You remember what we wanted to move it up to?
350.
Yep. So we'll put 350 in here, and we'll do that in all 4 markets for now. Now, now you notice that brought your earnings per share down a little bit, but let me do this quick. If I move Europe, Africa back down to 80, that's where you had it, and then we go to entry level assembly. There's 34, 36, 74, 38 thousand orders that are like pending from your retailers. Now, if we go back up here and change this to 350, look how many more are being ordered.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, so now if you max that production out, you'll see your earnings went up again. Make sense?
Yes.
That's looking a lot better, huh?
Oh yeah.
But remember,
Looking like money.
remember, this is based on the old marketplace. So
Yeah.
before we forget,
Tread lightly.
Do we think that the price is going to go up or down in the market next year? I'm thinking down.
Okay.
So let's move these toggles up here. And is PQ rating going to go up or down?
I'd probably say up.
Okay, I think so too. And do you think marketing is going to get more or less competitive?
More.
Okay, so let's move these up too. Now things don't look so great, but that's okay because you want to be realistic. You don't want to give yourself a false sense of accomplishment and then find out that it wasn't good. So now you continue going through. Remember, in the marketing, we needed to change the promotions too, and we needed to change the warranty.
Yep, 1 year.
So we got to do that as well. And now if we go back to assembly again, well, we're going to have to bring the assembly down a bit because the changes in expectations in the marketplace mean that as soon as you change those toggles, it also changes how much was being ordered.
Oh, okay.
So still doesn't look very good right now, but we have to check multi-feature. That didn't really help either, unfortunately. So if we go back to marketing, if prices are going to go down, maybe you guys should bring your camera price down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when you do that. Oh, like demand went up. So that's a little bit better than it was before. And you just keep going through like this and making iterative changes until you get it the best possible.
Okay.
Make sense? Does that make sense for everybody else in here? Okay, cool. It's not as early as I thought, but a couple minutes early. Have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday.
Thank you.
No problem.
My teammate report, I see on 2 days absent for 5 and 6. Today is 6th class, exactly.
Say again?
Today is 6th class, number 6.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Today's the 8th class, not the 6th.
Oh. Because they told me that 5 and 6 I'm absent.
So 5 and 6 were
I'm only one day
last
I'm
week.
absent. Yeah. Last week, 5 and 6.
Okay.
You didn't update for last Tuesday and Tuesday.
No, I updated last week over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, email me to remind me about that, okay? Thank you. No problem.
Sounds good.